on a defense that we'll see basically plays a simple, solid defense, not a lot of blitzing, not a lot of crazy stuff in the backfield. We'll try and enlighten you as the game goes on about some of the things you might be seeing, but it's really crucial that Pat Fox gets a victory his first day out this year. That'll really get his season going, Jim.
I think importantly, too, is that Pat's had them in an off-season. It's one thing to have the kids under your belt for a regular season, but off-season conditioning and off-season preparation is probably as crucial as what goes on during the year.
Well, there's no question about it. In the first year of a program, everybody's new. Nobody knows anybody. The coach doesn't know the students, and the students don't know the coach. Now the football players have been through it 1 year, and now Pat Fox is a guy you see every day, you know every day. They're a lot more comfortable with his system, and hopefully it'll show the first game out.
So as far as the Lathrup Chargers are concerned, Daryl Harper told me, quite honestly, last year he didn't feel that this team was competitive. This year he knows that they're competitive because a lot of the kids that he feared may not come back after losing some 18 games in a row are back. And two very, very important ones. Offensively, we take a look at Tiki Ghosh. He's a young man who even though he may or may not have all the physical tools, he is a very bright student. And quarterbacks are very, very important in reading defenses, and that's where Daryl Harper feels that Tiki has improved over last year. And so the footwork we talked about last year, some of the other things, you'll see an entirely different quarterback. He'll be wearing the same uniform. He'll be having the same name. The other young man is number 66, Sarmad Sanawi. We have talked about him. We talked about him in the Dome last year. Sanawi's situation, he was in on 142 tackles last year. 80 of them were solo tackles. He averaged 15 tackles a game. So he gets in your way. He gets busy from the opening gun. Those are two guys to watch for. There are plenty other ones, and this team wants to win the first game. A crucial first game, probably more so for Lathrup than Berkley, and Gary and I will be back to talk more about this game, tell you about a couple of our brand new features at halftime when we continue from Southfield Lathrup. The high school football game of the week, the Berkley Bears, the Southfield Lathrup Chargers, as we open year number 9 on LO11. So come on back and get into our sports.
Everyone has something to cheer about in September on ESPN. Root for the home team as Major League Baseball heads into the pennant races with live games 4 nights a week. Bring out the pom-poms for college football every Saturday plus 2 Thursday night specials. Then celebrate the season premieres of NFL Game Day and Primetime. Auto racing always delivers a roaring good time. And stand up and cheer for great golf and Davis Cup action. Hip, hip, hooray for September with ESPN.
Cable highlights.
Informative.
Anything that has to do with helping children, I'm interested in.
Cable highlights.
Educational.
What does it mean, high definition, high density?
Cable highlights.
Entertaining.
And we wanted to secure one child's future for $1 million.
Cable highlights.
Unique.
Promoting the good work that the Shriners do, as all the groups.
Cable highlights.
Only on Continental's Channel 11.
Quality shows.
If the big one keeps getting away, if you want new tips and more effective techniques from top guides and fishing professionals, then catch Fishing the West this season. Each week we'll take you to the best sport fishing waters in some of the world's most magnificent locations. We'll go after salmon, trout, sailfish, bass, tarpon, northern pike, steelhead, and many more. If you can't be there yourself, then join us for the fast action on Fishing the West.
School board news, local government and business news, local advertising. It's all important. And the only place you'll find it is in your award-winning Observer and Eccentric newspapers. Every Monday and Thursday, families like yours turn to their Observer and Eccentric papers. They know local news is important news. If you care about what's going on in your neighborhood, you should be reading the Observer and Eccentric. The twice-weekly Observer and Eccentric newspapers. We cover our suburbs like the dailies cover the city.
Jim Shafford and Gary May, and joined this season for most of the year by Barry Smades, handling the numbers. It's nice to have him keeping numbers for me. I spent some fun weeks at the Joe Louis Arena working on a stats crew headed up by Barry Smades. Best stats crew in sports in the world, and if you don't believe me, Barry's right here to confirm all that. The Southfield Lathrup Chargers, Gary May, a team that does not know the taste of victory, because the guys on these two teams, on this team I should say, the man on the left, Daryl Harper, suffering through his first his first winless season in his history at Southfield Lathrup, and that goes back about 22 years. Pat Fox on the right side, very enthusiastic young man. I know you met him for the first time, and different type of a situation as his program is compared to programs in the past.
Well, as you can see, Pat Fox is a young man and quite familiar with boys at this high school level. Daryl Harper, of course, has been around for 20 years coaching. I think Daryl's going to see victory real soon this season. He's got a tremendous line. They're absolutely huge. I don't know how Berkley's going to stay with him tonight. I think that could be the key to the game, is the offensive and defensive line charges of the Southfield Lathrup Chargers. They're just an awesome team, and Berkley's going to have their hands full trying to keep in this game.
One of the guys, they have two 300-pounders, one on the offensive line, and that is Andy Grossman. He goes at 315, and of course, using the Jim Shaffron workout tape over the summer, bulking him up to, no, we won't blame that on me. We're excited about being here and being part of Labor Day weekend, which signifies the start of high school football. Berkley, by the way, has elected to defer to the second half, and they will therefore kick off. And this is a team, as we mentioned, that has a lot of returnees, the Southfield Lathrup Chargers, and so you'll hear some familiar names from last year. We'll see Lathrup 3 times this season. We'll see them on the 6th of October against West Bloomfield and at the Dome against Southfield. And we'll talk to you at halftime about our coverage, which will be, well, spanning the franchise area. And we have some great games for you, and we're going to see some outstanding performers, including the gentleman who both Mick McCabe and Tom Markowski feel is the #1 player in the state of Michigan. That'll be coming up in about 3 weeks from today. But right now, back in the deep spot, Marvin Falls. He's changed his number from 82 to #1, and for luck, and I'm sure for a lot of other reasons as well. And we're getting ready to get this one off and running. Tim Wimes, number 23, is up front of him, along with number 32, Johnny Hackle.
Jimmy, the coach, pointed out before the game, the Chargers coach Daryl Harper, he said, keep your eye on #1. He's a game breaker. He can do it all for us.
We've seen him before. Steve Zakowski kicks it off, and it's a short kick that will go into the hands of Andy Abro on the left-hand side. He tries to move down the sideline, and out of bounds he goes. 10-yard pickup, and we'll give credit on the tackle to Ryan Cascade, number 36. And so the Lathrup Chargers will start their first offensive series at their own 35-yard line. Take a look at the starters for this one. And it is a veteran starting backfield. The name Willie Norwood, familiar to those of you who are familiar with Piston basketball. He is the son of former Piston forward Willie Norwood, and started or played quite a bit as a sophomore last year. Tiki Ghost, the quarterback, we'll call it the 35-yard line, and Derek Bishop over the ball. And in motion to the right-hand side goes Norwood. The handoff is to number 32, Johnny Hackle. Hackle is brought down after about a 2-yard pickup. Take a look at Pat Fox's defense, and he's going to rotate about 6 or 7 defensive linemen in there.
Berkley opened with a 4-4 on defense, which kind of caught the Chargers off guard. I'm sure they've been practicing against a 52 for the past 2 weeks. So it'll take a play or so for the Chargers to adjust that defensive set.
James Jenkins will split out to the left side. And Marvin Falls lined up in the backfield. We'll see if he comes out of the backfield in motion. Tiki hands it off to Falls, and Falls tries to slip away and was unable to do so. Number 52, Ethan Goldsmith, was the man who slowed him down, but he loses 1 on it, so they'll mark it back at the 35, and it'll be 3rd down and 9 from the 35.
And of course, then on the second play, Berkley went back into a 52 defense and caught them stunting, and that's why the loss of yardage.
And of course, as is the custom with Lathrup quarterbacks, they have the plays on their wrist. And Daryl Harper goes out, calls the play. Tiki looks on his wrist and now knows which one to go with. Falls and Jenkins to the left-hand side. Norwood out of the backfield in motion to the right. And he'll throw a little sideline pass to Norwood. He makes the catch, gets it inside midfield, and all the way down inside of Berkley territory, down at about the 46-yard line.
The defense didn't adjust very quickly that time. You'll see in the replay, Ed Ashcroft, who's number 40, has got outside responsibility. And he should have picked up Willie Norwood coming out of the backfield. And as you'll see, Norwood's wide open. That ball would have been out in front of him. It would have been 6 points for the Chargers.
18 yards on the pass play, and so it'll be 1st down and 10. The ball at about the 46-yard line of the Berkley Bears. And so Ghosh won for his first completion. The Chargers, I was going to say, about 50-50 last year as far as the yardage running and passing. Norwood looked like he wanted to pass. Great block, left-hand side, Jeff Wasser. And Norwood is brought down by number 24, Steve Zukowski, and number 20, Ken Carson. Willie Norwood taking it to the left side, but 56, Jeff Wasser, was the man who cleared him for a 9-yard pickup.
Looks like Southfield Lathrup's doing a good job of stretching the defense by going side to side right now with 36, Willie Norwood.
Now Jenkins will be the lone wide out there running with, again, Falls in the backfield and probably will put him in motion. Hackle. The pitch back is to Marvin Falls, and Marvin Falls scoots all the way down inside the 20, down near the 21-yard line, and he's brought down by Zukowski again, but not until after he picked up 16 yards and a 1st down.
Here's number 1, Marvin Falls. I mean, you can see what he can do. If he gets into open field, he could be gone. One more block, and he had 6 points.
You see that block by Andy Grossman? He just stood there and almost kind of just used his chest to block. They're at the 23-yard line of Berkley. The Lathrup Chargers are on the run here. Counter play handoff to Norwood, does a good job of holding on to it. Adam Perry brought him down after about a 3-yard pickup to the 19.
I think one of the things you're starting to see, we pointed out earlier, is the tremendous size of the Lathrup line. They're starting to really control the line of scrimmage, and the defense is on their heels. If that keeps up, it's going to be a long day for Berkley and Pat Fox.
3 minutes into it, the Lathrup Chargers took the opening kickoff. They're down at the 19-yard line of the Berkley Bears, and they will send James Jenkins wide to the right side. Charles Hewley, the tight end, set on the left, and again they'll run it with Falls in the backfield. Marvin, kind of a triple threat. Now they're going to go to the left side to Norwood. Norwood cuts it back inside, tries to escape a tackle of Ken Carson, is unable to do it, but he does get 6, and he goes down to, well, we're going to get a penalty. Go ahead, Gary. Take a look at the running backs again.
As you can see, once again, the offensive line surge. I think I've got a mic problem. Oh, there we go. Are we back on? Yeah, once again, you can just see the control offensive line. They're just taking over the line of scrimmage. Berkley's going to have to make some adjustments. I would hope they go back to that 4-4 look. That might be a little better for them.
1 yard to go on 3rd down. Ghosh is going to throw. Jenkins dives, and the pass was a little bit underthrown. Bobanesco was there to cover. And so now the Chargers find themselves with a 4th down and 1 situation. Interesting call by Daryl Harper, apparently feeling that if he didn't get it, he was going to go for it anyway.
You'll see the wide receiver out here wide open, and I think Tiki Ghosh just got a little too excited and hurried to throw. If he'd have laid that out there, it would have been 6 points again. 4th and 1 with the size of the line they've got. You're going to watch him just take this right up the gut.
Yeah, watch Grossman on the left side next to the tight end Hewley. And we'll see if they go to the left side. Norwood goes in motion to the right. Tiki hands it off, though, to Johnny Hackle, and Hackle gets the 1st down near the 16-yard line. They are pointing fumble, but the Chargers held on to the football. In on the stop for Berkley, number 58, Charlie McPhail, 3 yards and a 1st down, and they're spreading the wealth offensively as well, but they did go to the left side again, Gary.
I'm surprised that we didn't see Berkley in some kind of a goal line set there for defense. In a 4th and 1 situation, they needed to control that line, and they came out in a basic 5-2. It wasn't going to stop anything.
Now Marvin Falls will go into the pass pattern. He goes wide to the right. They'll go with the 2 tight ends here, it looks like. Ghosh hands it off to Hackle, and Johnny Hackle is brought down from behind after about a 1 yard pickup officially. Ryan Cascade bringing him down for the Berkley Bears, so it'll be 2nd down and 9. You know, one of the things, Gary, that we talked about earlier, and is the fact that the intelligence, the book smarts of Tiki Ghosh come into play very much so as a quarterback here, because Daryl Harper can talk to him, explain things to him, and he has the capacity to understand and learn. And reading defenses is very crucial, and it sometimes takes a little while to learn. Tiki's going to throw. Now he's in trouble now, and he is brought down by Eric Fairman after a 3-yard pickup. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 6 yards to go. We're inside of We're inside of 6 minutes, inside of 7 minutes in the first quarter, and this has been a very sustained drive. Last year,
Tiki, if you can see by the statistics, he knows what he's doing out there. He's probably got some first game jitters, and as soon as this quarter gets over with, I'm sure you'll start seeing him settle down. As you can tell already, he knows how to handle his team.
Now they're going to run the two wideouts for the first time